Welcome, greetings. I am Dr. Jamail D. Carter, President and CEO of the Kayannus Consulting Group, where we are a full service management and educational consulting practice, where we assist organizations like yours align human capital with organizational strategy. We have a variety of services available to you and your team, such as executive coaching, human resources and organizational development consulting, market research, and intensive boot camps such as our nonprofit formation, business growth, grant writing, fundraising. In addition, we offer growth circles, which are intimate groups for leaders to come together for professional development, peer encouragement, and up to date best practices and research. Join a growth circle today. We have growth circles for CEOs, entrepreneurs, pastors, executive directors, nonprofit leaders, and nonprofit leaders, as well as educational leaders. This is season 2, episode 6 of the Kayannus Consulting Group's Executive Edge podcast, your source for encouragement, news, information, and commentary, all designed to assist Christian leaders and executives such as yourself thrive in both life and career. I invite you to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share. If you like what you hear, and if you're unable to wait for our weekly podcast, I recommend you sign up for one of our alerts and receive breaking news in the world of higher education, nonprofits, business, entertainment, leadership, politics, health, biotechnology, and pharmaceuticals. To do so, you can call our offices at 1 800 418 5350. Once again, the number 1 800 418 5350. In addition, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Parlor at Dr. JD Carter. That is at sign DRJD Carter, CARTER. I'm going to highlight a couple of stories that popped on the wire today in business, as well as some other areas. But you may or may not know that the 30-year mortgage rate has just climbed above 5%. This is the highest level since 2018. There has been major movement in terms of the stock market, as now people are wondering, are there going to be more pressures that's going to be applied by the Fed? And so what does this mean? Essentially, this means that the cost of money that you're borrowing is increasing as a way of the banks and the Fed trying to limit the number of, I guess you say, to limit what we have going on in terms of inflation. So making sure that the value or the amount of money that's in the market is decreased. And so they're trying to do that with increasing the interest rates. General Motors and Honda has announced a partnership they're having to help develop affordable electric vehicles that are going to cost less than $30,000. This, once again, is part of a global platform of companies that they announced this on today. This partnership is going to deepen the ties between the automakers regarding all electric and autonomous vehicles. We do know that there is a lot of autonomous vehicles that are being developed by various motor vehicle manufacturers right now. But you're also seeing that General Motors and Honda, with forming this partnership, they're trying to really create economies of scale and leverage the strengths of each one of their partners. So this is going to be very beneficial to both of them. But I also think in terms of making sure that cost of delivery and cost of research and development is split between the two companies. Definitely something you may want to look at if you're looking at purchasing stock. Looking at what's going on with General Motors and Honda. Goldman Sachs announced that 236,000 people applied for internships globally at the bank. And this is including over 79,000 in the Americas. And so what this is talking about, and I think when you're looking at an acceptance rate of internship applications of 1.5%, very competitive. The recent boom, instead of dissuading applicants last year, the Wall Street boom led to overworked bankers as well as widespread raises and bonuses. And it seemed to have drawn the interest to people wanting to work within the banking field. I think when you're looking at industries such as banking and some of these competitive marketplaces, it's going to be important for recent graduates to find ways to differentiate themselves from others in the marketplace. Definitely, I do think we're seeing when it comes to college admissions and some of the other things that are happening, people are trying to spread the net. But I think one of the things you have to understand is that if things were easy to come by, more and more people will do them. And that's not the case. Very few people are willing to go the extra mile to make themselves competitive in a competitive market. And so when you're looking at what's happening with Goldman Sachs and some of the other, I guess you say, blue chip employers, it's going to get competitive. It will remain competitive. And those who are the cream of the crop will find themselves in these roles and in these positions. Don't feel that anything is going to be given to you. You're going to have to go out and earn every position you achieve in your career. Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar, who will be stepping down as his role as the company's merger with Discovery nears a close. Kilar, the one-time CEO of Hulu, was named the head of AT&T's Warner Media division in April 2020, a month into the pandemic. The executive is expected to depart on Friday. And as stated, this is a result of a merger between Discovery and Warner Media. He does not quite know what he's going to do once he leaves, but he did say he does not think retirement is on the horizon. What this lets us know is that, kind of going back to the Goldman Sachs story, there is a lot of shakeup. There's a lot of things that's happening in the world of business, and business is definitely a place where it's the survival of the fittest. So if you're doing your job, if you're getting things done, you can expect opportunities to come your way. And I do think that's what we're going to see with Jason. I do think he has a strong resume. There are a lot of projects and initiatives that he brought to fruition there at Warner Media. And I do think as a result, he will not be unemployed or retired for that long before other opportunities come his way. Moving to business growth principle strategy or best practices, I want to discuss workplace value conflict. It will be hard to succeed at any organization that is not in alignment with your personal value structure. Both employers and candidates should seek opportunities and options that are in alignment with their value system. Never underestimate the importance of fit between an applicant's personal values and your organizational values in making hiring decisions. Hiring managers must be determined, and they must determine what behaviors they desire their team to exhibit regularly. Behaviors are shaped by our internal value system. And so organizations should not expect employees to stick around and grow with their organization if they fail to hire individuals that value loyalty or cooperation. Organizations should use the interview process as a way to uncover alignment between the applicant's personal values and the organization's values. Do not just hire a warm body, select individuals that will be committed to the vision of where your team is headed. Excuse me. Workplace value conflict is a predictor of employee separation. Organizations must use their hiring process to screen and select candidates that are in alignment with their organization's value system. High-performing organizations tend to be made up of individuals who personify the organization's value system. Every day, there are organizations that close their doors never to reopen again. Why does this happen? Many failed organizations lack the ability to read and scan their environment. Other organizations fail to regularly measure or predict their performance. Both your organization's short and long-term goals and strategies should be developed from key performance indicators of your organization's health. Do you know when you need to act? What does your predictive analytics suggest? Are you on pace to hit your targets? If you are unsure, our team of experts can work with your leaders to develop dashboards that will show you how your organization is performing in real time. The Kayannus Consulting Group has a team of knowledgeable thought leaders that serve as coaches and consultants with C-suite experience that are available to assist you and your leadership team. Allow us to assist you in aligning your human capital with organizational strategy. Now is not the time to hire amateurs. Get the results you deserve. Bring in our team of experts and allow us to bring your plans into focus. For more information or a no-fee consultation, please call our offices at 1-800-418-5350. The number once again, 1-800-418-5350. Some stories in the world of health and education that I would like to highlight. Bluebird Bio has cut their staff by 30%. This is a result of multiple research and development, regulatory, and commercialization setbacks. The gene therapy specialist has brought out the cost-cutting acts in an effort to keep the business afloat. Hopes this will extend its cash runway into the first half of the 2023 quarter. As of January 31st, the Massachusetts biotech counted 518 full-time employees, according to its annual report. This is a result of, once again, the delayed Fed decision for its two-star cross-gene therapy candidates is the reason why this is going on. One of the things I will say when you're looking at your cash runway, businesses have limited funds. And so they're not generating any revenue because their products are not currently approved by the FDA. And so they need to ensure that they're able to stay afloat. I do think that this is a wise decision on the part of the leadership team there. It is really sad for the 30% of their workforce that has lost their jobs. But I do think if you're looking at places of employment, you want to make sure that the company that you are working at is bringing in revenue. Companies cannot function if there is no sales revenue or any revenue coming in to sustain them long term. In one of his first public addresses since becoming commissioner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, Robert Califf outlined some observations about the state of play in the healthcare sector, as well as some of his priorities. One of the things that he's outlined is that he feels that there needs to be more human interaction. He outlined that he believes the health systems need to be in better alignment to improve patient outcomes. And he says that part of the reason why there are low patient outcomes is because there are limited interactions between various areas within our healthcare supply chain, as well as things that are going on in various sectors throughout healthcare. And so he wants to bring in alignment, having groups interact more frequently, he feels will benefit human patient outcomes. Some of Tennessee community colleges have laid off employees and cut positions in response to steep enrollment declines. The chancellor of the Tennessee Board of Regents system said in a meeting last week that the enrollment at the 13 community colleges are now at the lowest rate since 2001. The system has seen a loss of more than 14,000 students since the pandemic started. A volunteer state community college fired 20 staff members and removed 13 open positions. Jackson State Community College also plans to eliminate more than 20 positions by June. And as we've seen since the pandemic, both at the university as well as the community college level, enrollment has declined. There are many students that are refusing to return. Also, when you're looking at student preference when it comes to modality, this is something that colleges and universities are going to have to figure out. But definitely, I think it's sad that in the meantime, we're starting to see more and more colleges and universities let go of staff. As I was talking about with Bluebird, if you don't have the revenues coming in, it behooves organizations to cut any bloated waste that they may be having when it comes to staffing issues. The College of Holy Cross in Worcester, Massachusetts, announced on yesterday it will rename its Integrated Science Complex for alumnus Dr. Anthony Fauci. And many people are aware that Dr. Fauci is the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and a top infectious disease expert who helped to assist our country through the COVID-19 pandemic. He earned his undergraduate degree at the College of Holy Cross in 1962, majoring in classics with a pre-medical concentration. The name change will take place on June 11th during Dr. Fauci's 60th class reunion weekend. Moving to the world of church and nonprofits, Hillsong founder Brian Houston has issued an apology for engaging in inappropriate behavior with two women, resulting in his resignation last month. Houston, who founded Hillsong Church in 1983, had sent inappropriate text messages to a woman who at the time was a Hillsong staffer, and in 2019 spent nearly an hour inside another woman's hotel room while he was intoxicated and on prescription medication. Houston resigned from his position as Hillsong's global senior pastor on March 23rd after an investigation into two complaints by the Hillsong board concluded that he had breached his pastor's code of conduct. One of the things I will say that I applaud Hillsong that they do have a pastor's code of conduct in place. I do also applaud them that they investigated. One of the things that I think is problematic for a lot of churches is that there is no one there holding pastors or leaders accountable when bad, inappropriate, poor behavior takes place. I do think it behooves the boards of institutions, the boards of churches, to go in and investigate and make sure that they can get these situations under control as quickly as possible to make sure that people's spiritual well-being is not hampered or destroyed because of poor behavior. A Ukrainian Pentecostal church in Nicholasville, Kentucky, raised over $145,000 at a bake sale last week to aid those displaced by the war in Ukraine. I do think that this is a great positive news story to show how we in the church should come to the aid of those that are grieving, to the aid of those that find themselves in unfavorable conditions. I do applaud the members of the Ukrainian Pentecostal Church there in Kentucky. Mental health charities have had to quickly increase their digital services to meet the needs of their users. This transition has caused a lot of organizations to make missteps when it comes to data and privacy as they're operating in unfamiliar terrain and environments. I do think that leaders for mental health charities as well as churches or other nonprofits that may be interacting with the public using their data and their privacy should consider bringing in experts to help them navigate these transitions to make sure that they're doing and making wise choices when they're bringing in technology to automate some of their practices. Strong donor relationships will be critical to the long-term sustainability of your nonprofit organization. Could your organization be able to benefit from 20 to 25% increase in support this year? If so, our team of highly skilled fundraising consultants at the Kayannus Consulting Group can work with your team to assess your systems and assist you in developing a strategy that will get you back on track. For a no-fee consultation, please contact our offices at 1-800-418-5350. Once again, our number is 1-800-418-5350. In the world of politics today, just moments ago, the White House has announced that it plans to extend the student loan moratorium once again, moving the deadline back to August. I think this has gone on for over a year. We're crossing into 2 years. I think it's now time for the federal government, the White House, Congress, to reach a permanent solution as to what they're going to do concerning the student loan moratorium. I don't think it's wise for borrowers to be in limbo every 3 months. I do think it's now time for some long-term permanent resolution to what's going to happen concerning federal student loans. The Congressional Black Caucus has pushed to end sentencing disparities between crack and powder cocaine. It's going to be interesting to see if there's going to get traction. But definitely, I do think it is imperative that when you're dealing with the same drug, it should not be disparities concerning how individuals are sentenced concerning handling or selling or distributing this drug. I do think that this is a wonderful step forward, and hopefully there will be some resolution that can be bipartisan into bringing this under control. On last week, Sarah Palin, former vice presidential candidate, announced her bid for a U.S. House seat in Alaska. Definitely, she does have notoriety. It'll be interesting to see if the funds and the support comes to get her over the finish line. But that is some of the highlights of what has transpired in the world of politics over the past week. The strategic alignment of your people with organizational strategy is important to the success of your organization. It is imperative that your team remains current and up to date on changes in the law. Human resource regulations and laws change regularly, and for most small and medium-sized businesses and entrepreneurs, it can be hard to stay current on changes while building and maintaining a successful business. If this sounds like your story, the Kayannus Consulting Group is your solution. The Kayannus Consulting Group has a team of highly trained and up-to-date human resources consultants available to assist you and your team at a moment's notice. For more information, please call our offices at 1-800-418-5350. Once again, the number 1-800-418-5350. Some of the most successful people in the world have come to understand themselves and have developed the ability to recognize the situation at hand. Many fail to achieve and reach their personal summit because they have not been equipped with the strategies needed to adapt their behavior and routines to get out of their way and on top of the mountain. Hiring a coach can help you travel many miles toward accomplishing your goals. Many of our coaching clients at the Kayannus Consulting Group were tired of working endless hours at their places of employment, going unnoticed and unappreciated. They found no contentment in watching others pass them along on their way to the corner office. It was time for them to become mature and gain knowledgeable insight on how to compete and grow. Try a Kayannus Consulting Group's executive coach or career coach for the next 6 months and experience the significant edge you will have over others in your organization as you speed toward a brighter and better future. Our coaches at the Kayannus Consulting Group are members of the Christian Coaching Alliance. Call today for a no risk, no obligation 1-hour consultation. What do you have to lose? If you decide to sign up, Select the individualized coaching program you want. For more information or a no-fee consultation of our coaching experience, the test drive, if you will, please call our offices at 1-800-418-5350. Once again, that number, 1-800-418-5350. The career advice I have for you this week is very simple. What you find to be comfortable or easy for you in a given situation may not always be what is needed from you in that situation. Sometimes you're going to have to leave the familiarity and comfort that you have grown accustomed to in order to grow. You may find yourself having to leave your current company in order to get that position you desire. Sometimes you're going to have to speak truth to power. You're going to be called upon to assist those above you and from not allowing their ego to derail the organization. Sometimes those in the C-suite have what I call the escalation of commitment because they have taken a road. They're committed to that road, even though the research or the data may be showing that the approach that they're taking is not beneficial to their organization. So sometimes, as stated, you're going to have to speak truth to power. Sometimes you're going to have to make difficult decisions. What that means is that you're going to have to follow the numbers and the data as it presents itself. And so that means sometimes you may have to cut people or staff as a result of getting things done. Are you ready to make the leap to your dream position? Our team of talented resume writers at the Kayannus Consulting Group may be able to assist you in breathing life into your job search and interview strategies. If it has been a while since you have had an interview, please send your current resume to our team for an evaluation on the effectiveness of your current resume in selling your strengths. Contact our offices at 1-800-418-5350. Once again, that number, 1-800-418-5350. I hope you have found this week's podcast to be informative, encouraging, noteworthy. And once again, I would like to invite you to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share. Help us get the word out. I pray that the favor of God shines upon you and your organization this week. May clients come from the east, the west, the north, and the south. May you and your family continue to go from blessings to greater blessings. Until next week, be blessed.